What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist, and welcome back to another 40 Facts video. Today we are diving into the lore behind Warhammer 40K, more specifically going into the Imperium's Space Marines of the Grey Knight chapter. So as we all know, the Grey Knights are the elite fighting force that specialize in killing demons, banishing back the demonic forces to the Imperium. And today we're talking about Castellan Garen Crow, or more specifically, the weapon that he wields. So, this weapon is super powerful and super mysterious. First and foremost, it is called the Blade of Antwyr. And the thing about this is that it is a demon sword that cannot be destroyed. A Grey Knight is wielding a demon sword. So that's already a little like, whoa, they're here to defeat demons, not use them. However, this demon blade cannot be destroyed by those who destroy demons. So what the heck is going on here? What is making this blade so powerful? Why can't the Grey Knights banish this demon sword? Which is exactly what they're here to do. Grey Knights are here to banish demons. What's going on? If you saw our 40 Facts video on the Blade of Abaddon Draconian, I go in depth into the lore behind it, and that blade, spoiler alert, couldn't be destroyed. It was super powerful, it transcended that of the Chaos Gods, and even the Emperor could not destroy it. It had to be banished. So, that leaves me to believe that the Blade of Antwyr may be related to Draconian in some way, but, that's enough speculation and theory. Let's dive into this 40 Fact video. So first and foremost, let's talk about Garen Crow. Crow is considered to be a flawless soul, a man of immense spiritual fortitude, so much so that he is immune to the temptations of chaos. And because of that, he's been bestowed with a huge burden, and that is to wield the Black Blade of Antwyr. This demon sword is so powerful beyond imagining. Like I said before, it first came to the attention of the Grey Knights during the 37th millennium, and it was during the days of the Occlusiad. So the Occlusiad was basically a war that was going on between the Imperial Navy, the Dark Hunter Space Marine chapter, the Adeptus Mechanicus, and a heretic cult known simply as the Apostles of the Blind King. And it's basically cultists that praised the machine god, however, they were kind of teetering on chaos. Eventually, these heretics of the Blind King began going full-blown chaos. They began summoning demonic engines in vast numbers, and they even had the ability to use chaos-corrupted warlord titans. This was so instrumental to this battle that it escalated into a massive war. Anyway, during this conflict, the heretics of the Blind King erected a temple of Antwyr. This is when they began praising their god, and eventually this god gave them power in the form of the Black Blade. This Black Blade then began empowering the demon host who wielded it, and he became so powerful that all 8 brotherhoods of the Grey Knights had to come in and fight in this war. Eventually, the Grey Knights won, the demon host was slain. However, when the blade fell from the demon host's hand, basically everything, the blood, the corpses there, all slipped out of time and space and vanished. Even though the blade also vanished, the prognosticars, which are kind of like fortune tellers for the Grey Knights, they had visions that the blade would return, and it finally did, although it was 3,000 years later. The sword finally resurfaced on the moon of Tethys, but for the Grey Knights, they knew it was coming, so they were ready. They killed the vessel before Antwyr could be fully able to possess him, and thus grant him even more power than that of the Blind King. So now that they killed the vessel and they had the sword in their possession, the Grand Masters debated the fate of this sword. Some wanted to destroy it, others simply wanted to abandon it and let fate basically take hold of it, and others said that it should be placed in the hands of the Purifiers, because only the Purifiers of the Grey Knight had the strength to resist its corruption. Eventually the latter was chosen, and for centuries it was placed into the hands of the Brotherhood champion, and it was passed down from purifier to purifier until it became Garen Crow's. Throughout the years of all these purifiers being the blade holder to this blade, they've known that perhaps it's not a simple demon inside the sword. They think that maybe it could be a demon prince, a greater demon, or maybe something even more fouler than that, an ancient god. Anyway, it is said that whoever is standing too close to this sword are driven mad by the constant whispers and lies that the sword tends to speak out. Unfortunately for the Grey Knights, they are not perfect. They're really close to it, but they do sometimes fall to temptation. And that is only because of this blade. So, because of that, they tend to sometimes pass it off to the next purifier to give them some time to build their psychic fortitude, their holiness again, before they can wield the black blade. Until Garen Crow came here. So Crow was so powerful, like I said before, he was able to resist all temptations. He could still hear the whispers. He was still fighting to have control of the blade and not let the greater demon or whatever's inside it possess him. So because of that, he was known as the one true wielder of this blade. He became the sole guardian of the sword, and because of this, he's also been tasked with the forbidden knowledge that the sword gives him. Now the sword may be telling him secret truths, or maybe he's just giving him lies. All this is something that Garen Crow has to go through on a daily basis. Do I trust the sword in telling me that my enemy's weakness is here? Or maybe that's just going to get him killed. So it's always a struggle, it's always a battle for Crow to understand what the blade's true intentions are. And most of the time, he's been right on the money. That's why he's still alive. Throughout the years of being in possession of this blade, Crow has been the one to basically listen to everything he's saying. So because of this, he's been writing down all the whispers that the blade has been telling him, and he's been keeping them locked in corridors. Most of these are probably just lies, however there are some truths behind this, and actually some of these have been curses. For example, I believe there was a curse that when somebody spoke it out loud, it literally summoned a demon. So, this blade is powerful. It knows things that no mortals should be able to know. And on top of this, if Crow doesn't have the sword in his possession, it will dematerialize back into the warp. So because of this, he always has it on his person. He always has a hand in the hilt. And it's just a huge bother. But he's the man who's been tasked with this job. On top of this isn't just a bother to him. He can also use the blade to attack, to kill the heretic, slay the demon. So, again, it's not just a hindrance to him, he can use it for fighting, basically. Unfortunately, he doesn't use the blade's demonic powers to wield him. He uses it as just a regular sword, albeit a demon sword that is indestructible. So it's still a good sword, but again, it's always a constant battle. And with that being said, that was the Blade of Antwyr's lore. Pretty much, there's a few things that we know for certain. This weapon is powerful. It's indestructible. No means that the Grey Knights are capable of can destroy it. And that says a lot, because rumor has it, these Grey Knights have the gene seed of the Emperor. Whether that's true or not, it still says a lot. They're super powerful. They're made specifically to destroy demons, heretics, and they can't do anything to this blade. So that shows you how powerful it is. Number 2, this blade is ancient because it knows curses, it knows secrets, it knows weaknesses to demons, weaknesses to like powerful enemies. So it's pretty knowledgeable, and on top of this, it's corrupting. If you're the demon host to this blade, you will get corrupted, unless you're as strong as Crow or the Purifiers, which, again, they're Grey Knights, so they're meant to withstand chaos. And then, number 2, it is capable of traveling, whether it's dematerializing back into the warp or just disappearing outright. This blade is super tricky, super strong. It's just an amalgamation of warpness, chaoticness. and again, there's no true origins to it. I mean, obviously, it was summoned, to the Blind King, but where it was summoned from, or what is actually in the blade, is still a mystery. So, let me know what you guys think. Do you think it has something to do with the Dracnian, the Blade of Abaddon? Is it just a powerful demon residing within it? Or perhaps it's something more? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And of course, have a great Thanksgiving, guys. This video came out on Thanksgiving, so if you're celebrating that, go have some turkey, some ham, some lasagna, some stuffing, whatever it is you're eating. Eat it, because who knows, maybe the Blade of Antwyr will be in your possession. And anyway, that's all I've got for today, guys. Hit that subscribe button for more 40k lore, and I'll be seeing you next time. This is the Sound Alchemist, and I'll catch you then.